Thank you for being with us here on Court TV Live, your front row seat to justice. I'm Julie Grant. If you're just now joining us, we welcome you to our programming where we have our cameras inside of the courtroom where the dueling defamation case is happening with actors and former spouses Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. So right now we're in the plaintiff's case. Johnny Depp sued first, so we're hearing his case right now. We're on witness number 2, who has kind of become like the unofficial star of the trial because he is so entertaining with his responses that are really just authentic. His name is Isaac Baruch. They were childhood friends and then neighbors in adulthood. He knew Amber Heard very well. And the main takeaway from direct examination is he never saw any abuse, never saw any bruises on her, never learned of any abuse between the couple, just always said that they got along really well. So now he's being cross-examined. We hit pause in our last hour. Let's go back in where we left off.
And that's what they were arguing about.
Are you sure that Mr. Depp wasn't thinking there was someone in the room and she was trying to tell him there wasn't somebody in the room?
He, say that again?
Are you sure he wasn't saying someone was in the room and she was trying to convince him there wasn't anybody in the room?
Well, he said that he heard the other voice.
Okay, and did you hear the voice?
Oh, no. Okay. I walked in there already. This is already in motion.
Right, and Amber's saying, why are you saying that, right?
Amber was saying, come on, baby, why are you being like this? What are you doing? Come on, Johnny. There's no need. Why are you being like this?
Right.
And it was taunting.
How is it taunting to say, why are you accusing me of having somebody in my room?
Because they were in the midst of no solution. At that point, it would be if instead of taunting, saying, listen, John, let's talk tomorrow and let's end this conversation right now and we'll talk tomorrow and we'll get to an understanding, because there's not going to be any solution right now. But there was none of that. It was just continuous, oh, baby, so, and that kept it going.
If Mr. Depp, in his drunken state, was suffering from delusions and thought he heard a voice and wasn't, do you think it would have been reasonable for Amber to be saying, what's going on? Why are you saying this? What's going on?
Objection, Your Honor. Speculation.
I'll allow the question if you can answer it. You can answer the question, sir, if you...
Would I think it would be what?
If Mr. Depp was suffering from delusions and there wasn't anybody in the room and he hadn't heard a voice but thinks he's hearing a voice, would it be reasonable for Amber to be trying to figure out what's going on?
Objection, Your Honor. Hypothetical speculation.
I'll sustain as a speculation to that question.
Okay. And the bottom line is you came in on the call, so you don't know what he said first or whether there was any voices, correct?
Whether he heard voices?
Yes.
Besides hers?
Yes.
No, I didn't hear the beginning of the conversation.
Okay. And then after the hang-up, he went straight to bed, right?
No, after the first hang-up,
well,
she calls back again, which was it necessary? I don't know. And then a third time.
Do you know whether she knew whether he accidentally hung up or not?
That he accidentally hung up?
Right. Do you know whether she knew whether he hung up intentionally or accidentally?
No, the same way that I wouldn't know if, like, yeah, she didn't know that the telephone line got cut.
Right. Okay. So after the 3 calls that you testified about, he went straight to bed, right?
Went to the couch and laid down.
Right. And he was drunk.
Yeah, and he went to sleep. Yeah, he went out.
Do you know whether he'd taken any drugs that night?
No.
Now, you have known, you've already testified, you've known him for 42 years. You didn't pay rent at the penthouse, correct?
No, no one did.
Right. Okay. And then after you finished at the penthouse, you went over and lived with him in Sweetser, correct?
I live in one of his house that he owns on Sweetser.
And you still live there?
Yes.
And rent-free, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And has, other than the $100,000, you never paid that back, right? The $100,000 that he's given you?
No, that's not. That's a thing that's a thing for me. How I look at it and stuff. At some point, I would love to pay back that money, but that's not something that is expected. He's expecting.
Would you say you're kind of beholden to Mr. Depp?
I'm not beholden at all.
He's given you $100,000. He's put you in that nice.
I'm sorry. I didn't hear the whole question. Can you say it again?
You were rent-free in penthouses for a number of years, and now you've been rent-free ever since in Sweetser?
That's a nice friend.
Yeah, okay. And I think you testified already, you're pretty angry with Ms. Heard, right?
When?
I wrote it down that you
about the phony pictures that were taken and put in tabloids, and about the fake narrative, and about and the way she's trying to got a fraudulent DV claim to extort and blackmail a man. Yeah, that kind of got me
pretty angry,
frustrated, confused, angry, upset. Yes, which is why I said the best thing for us to do is not to talk to each other.
Okay.
Yes.
And was it fair to say you're still angry with her?
Oh, you know something? It's 6 years.
But we just heard you give your version.
Am I angry anymore? I'm not, what I am is tired, and I want this all to end. Her to go heal, him to go heal. So many people have been affected by this malicious lie that she started and she created, and it's gone out the door and around the world. And so I can't even paint anymore. I've stopped painting for the last who knows how many years, and that's affected by stuff. I'm not angry at anybody. I want the best for her to take her responsibility, heal, and move on. And for Johnny, his family has been completely wrecked by all of this stuff, and it's not fair. It's not right what she did and what happened for so many people to get affected from this. It's insane.
And Mr. Baruch?
How this happened.
And Mr. Baruch, if in fact she's telling the truth, and if in fact Mr. Depp, who has engaged in enormous rage and domestic abuse and violence of Amber over a period of time that you wouldn't know about, then maybe it's time for him to take responsibility, don't you think?
Objection, Your Honor.
What's the objection?
Speculation. Lack of foundation. Relevance.
Speculation.
He just went off on this rant and rave about assuming that she's...
You asked a question. So
I didn't ask a question that launched that.
I'm going to sustain the objection.
Okay,
Right, next
you don't...
question.
I'll ask this.
Okay.
Mr. Baruch, you don't know whether Mr. Depp has committed domestic violence of Amber Heard, do you?
I never witnessed. I never saw or witnessed whatever type of claim that is being said, ever. I've never seen him be violent. since teenagers from first
I
meeting.
didn't ask you that. I said you don't know whether he has committed domestic violence or abuse on Amber Heard. Isn't that correct?
That's correct. I did
Okay.
not witness any physical violence.
But you have seen Mr. Depp use drugs as well as drink and be drunk, correct?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Now,
I've partaken.
I'm going to ask you to take a look. Let's pick up